Well, I didn't know what will happen if I just follow step by step the Minion Army Infernalist guide from Maxwell and see, how I'm going to feel about it if I just going to follow a guide. Then I realized that I really enjoy the in-between, basically, being able to craft something and see that it works. Part of this experiment, especially when you have so many things in the tree and trying to figure out different things, this is what makes the game so much fun for me. Of course, the build just deleted all the different bosses and it was very, very easy just streaming through the campaign. Now we're doing cruel difficulty. And the only thing that actually made me kind of, all right, that's cool, is being able to, for example, reduce the first stage of the boss to, well, not actually zero, but realizing that I can actually destroy him in the first stage, even though, you can see it kind of stuck. It doesn't allow me to get him to zero. That's kind of a nice thing to know. Aside from that, I didn't enjoy this build that much because, again, because of all the, the AoE fire thing going on the screen. Of course, some will really enjoy it, but I didn't. It just was too cluttery for me, and I just, I definitely prefer the shockwave type of builds, aftershock. But this build definitely melts down everything. But once I finish bosses and I finish what before that was actually challenging for me, once I, especially in the first campaign, I didn't feel any enjoyment. I was just reading through everything. It felt like I'm kind of, looking at it. What did she do next? I didn't do it perfectly as it is, but still. It feels like I'm not actually playing the game. I didn't feel that I'm taking part of what's so great about this game is the insane skill tree and so many items that allows you really to craft different things and see if they work. If not, change a bit. And then one of the things that I really dislike about the game is that it's so costly to change things. Yeah, I got to millions of currency, but if you try to experiment, if you don't get it the first time, or at least you want to try different things and see how they work, how they feel, it's going to be very, very costly. So at some point, this is why I told myself, well, I can actually just do it. And this is really bad, especially if you're trying, with a new character and you don't know what to do and you want to experiment. This experimentation costs a lot. This is why I think, especially if you're going with SSF, it should be either the cost should be totally removed. I don't understand why the cost is there in the first place. I mean, why not allow players to experiment? Well, basic probably time wasting. Well, it's supposed to be a reason for that, right? But it just ruined part of the fun for me for actually trying many different builds. Sometimes I want to traverse there in the tree, and of course there are ways to kind of get an understanding how it's going to be like, what's going to be like. And usually you work from the top down. You start from areas where you build where you want it to be, and then kind of find a good pathway to that and passing through different useful nodes. But I really want more freedom to just do it without the really high cost of respecing. Now, the thing is that I really enjoyed the first part where I actually didn't follow the guide. I just went, blindly. At some point, I just stopped. This is actually the fun part where, there is a challenge to the game and you really can try find ways to actually think about the build that will work. And I try chaos, and then I see, all right, it's not actually going anywhere, but I need to keep it for a single target to eliminate bosses because my minions die pretty fast. But already at some point I realized, well, I don't have the currency to do that. I don't have to farm like crazy just to get the currency to make a RESPEC. But if it doesn't work, what I'm going to do, farm even more? It just wasn't worth it for me. I don't want to be punishing. I want to be more sandboxy for me. I want to be able to kind of, all right, I'm going to change that. I'm going to change that. I have enough points. Oh, this one works. This one doesn't work. This will make the game so much more fun for a player like myself that really enjoy crafting builds. Although it doesn't mean that you can craft them, of course, without that. Of course, if you spend more time, of course, on the math and everything, and you kind of have a rough idea or you got some inspiration from other builds, you have kind of, understanding where you need to go, it can happen. I'm not saying it totally, of course. I did it like 2 times and it was fun, super, super fun. So a player like myself, I don't really spend a lot of time with spreadsheets in order to do that. I really want to experiment kind of as I go, see if it works, or maybe traverse to another part of the tree. So I don't need to really go outside of the game and do lots of math calculations in order to, see how things are actually going. I mean, some do that, of course, some others don't. I just want to be in-game fun, removing points here, putting there, all right, this is actually something that I want to do and experiment, especially if more points, you can actually respect more. But if you're doing this a lot, and you're going to find out that it's just not the way to do that. you're going to reach to a point where, especially if you're playing SSF, you don't bring your currency from other characters, that's going to be very punishing. And here I'm actually playing SSF. I don't have a shared basically stash, so I don't have the currency from other characters that I created with a non-SSF account. So yeah, so basically one of the improvements that I want to see is for SSF to have this respecking removed, so we can just do it freely. It's going to be also so much fun to just respec on the fly and see what works, especially if more points, you want to travel to this one, see how it goes. But just experimenting with it rather than just putting lots of calculations, although you're probably going to do this anyway to some degree, but just having more freedom to do it without the cost of respecking. Again, only for the fact that you don't have a shared account, or you have millions farming end game, and you can just bring into any characters and do what you want after you already play with another character. Yeah, so I'm not enjoying playing like that, but already invested in making a change right now where I have only like 20k and trying to respec again for something else. Doesn't make sense. Probably going to do this later on. Hopefully, there's going to be an update. They're going to change that. Thanks for watching.